my interpreters get targeted. I've had the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, which is the shadow government, Taliban, sending me letters, telling me, like we were doing projects out there, they were sending me telling me they didn't have the proper building permits and I need to pay them $10,000 and they let me build it out there. So what the deal is security is a big issue in this area. You'll see in the northern parts of this, both provinces, it's a little more permissive, and then you move south, it's a lot less permissive. And it affects the Afghans the same way. They get threatened, they get night letters. I mean, I have people that we build our relationships. These guys would not come out to the FOB. They would not meet us anywhere. They will not be seen in public with us. Over the last 7 months, we've had now, in the last 2 months, we've had the Dale and his staff here at the FOB in my share room 9 times, working on projects. And you have to remember, those guys are putting themselves at risk to come in here. I've got 2 of them on their staff right now that are being threatened by the Taliban. By Taliban commanders are threatening these guys, telling they're spies for Americans and stuff like that. So what happens is they'll tell us, if it's a security issue, you tell us. We don't take pictures of them if they don't allow us. We don't send those pictures anywhere because it's a big deal. I've had interpreters, my interpreters get calls on their cell phone saying, or a Taliban commander down here, and we're at the school right outside the North ECP out here. We want you to come out and talk to us. And I mean, so these guys, it's a real deal to them. And when they go home on leave, they're not like us where we can get in a helicopter and fly somewhere. And land, when I land on the ground, I got 30 guys to get out with me. We've all got guns and machine guns and everything else. And nobody usually bothers us. Okay, they don't. They got to get in a little taxi and ride up to Kabul. Well, they've had two of the shopkeepers here were killed a few months ago, and they were caught out on the road going up on Utah, headed home. And the Taliban, when the A&A leave, who have checkpoints up and down the road, when they leave, they put up their own checkpoints. And they stop people, and if they catch you with a large amount of American cash or anything on you, where'd you get that at? How come you have that? And they ended up killing 2 of them. So these guys' security is a big issue with them. Some of the people, last week I was over in Saidabad, met with the district line director over there, and he told me, he says, you know what, you and I can be brothers in this district center. He says, I'll talk to you all day long, I'll work with you, whatever you want to do. He says, we walk outside this door, he says, I don't know who you are. And he says, you can go out to those villages and stuff and we can talk about it, but I ain't going out there. I'm not going out there with you. Last year they had stopped one of their guys, killed him, and decapitated the guy. So for them it's a real deal. And you have to understand, as we're putting in security and working with these guys, you have to understand that, they're putting their lives on the line. So you have to be very cognizant of it all the time and never pressure them into doing anything or putting them in a position where you're going to endanger them or their families. And we work with that. We have meetings or shures where they come where I've had Taliban commanders show right up at the meeting. And we've like TTP, the Human Train Team, and the PSYOPs guys are with us, watching, talking to people. Like we try to get a sense, what do people want, what do they think about the government, things like that. It helps guide us in what we're doing and helping the government on addressing the people's issues and working on those. But we've had Taliban commanders, former Taliban commanders show right up at our meetings and just sit right in there. And you can immediately tell when they come in because nobody sits next to them. They usually have like bodyguards with them when they're out there, and we usually can get back, get a picture of them or whatever and see them. But I think that they're interested too, one, to make money if they can, but two, we're just here to help Taliban, or not the Taliban, but help the Afghan government, and we're here to help Afghans. And I think that sooner or later, this is my personal opinion, you got 1 of 3 choices to do with the Taliban. 1, kill every one of them. 2, just get up and leave. Or 3, you've got to reintegrate these guys and get them part of the process. I mean, those are your choices right there. And I think that what they have to understand is again, you can't be exporting terrorism and sporting terrorism where you're going around bombing other people. Whether it's the United States or other countries are going to put up with it. They're going to deal with you. Okay, that's the number 1 thing. Number 2 is that if you have issues, you need to learn to solve them through a political process other than riding in, violence, use of force, and stuff like that. Some of the I know there's a big reintegration initiative going on right now, and they are reintegrating. They've reintegrated several Taliban in this area in the last few weeks. I don't know how successful that'll be down the road, but I think a lot of them, you get the guys that are defense centers, you got the hardcore fighters, then you got the guys that are just being paid, and you got the part-time guys and stuff like that. Our influence again is that when these people come up, unless they're a direct threat to me, I mean, I don't do anything with them. I show them what we're about, show them that